Okay, you guys that have watched any of my clips before will be aware of my Finch family, who were originally just mum and dad Finch, and then they had 2 babies. I've since introduced Ray and Canary, because I've always wanted a canary because they sing so beautifully, and he's called Ray because he sounds like a ray gun. Anyway, I'm not actually videoing for any of those guys. I'm videoing to introduce you to this little fella. I might flap around. Oh, there we go. He is a little goldfinch baby, and it's a pretty cute story. Well, it's a bit sad at the beginning. Him and his brother or sister fledged out of the tree. I'll show you actually, out of my son's bedroom window. Their mum and dad are nesting up in this really massive conifer up there. I think they've got their second load of babies in there because I do hear them every day. So they fledged out of that tree, but I think they fledged way too early, and they both hit this window. Smack! That's the kind of noise it made, and fell down there. Unfortunately, hey Tom, his little brother or sister died instantly, but this little fella, he was hopping around the garden. So Jason was out there luckily with Zach and picked him up and sort of picked him up and held him for a minute, just gave him a minute to catch his breath, and then sort of tried to put him in the tree, and he tried to fly again, but he couldn't. He just couldn't fly. He had fledged too early or something, had chased him out of the nest or something had gone terribly wrong, and he just couldn't fly. So we brought him in and thought, oh, we'll just give him the night just to calm down. Try him again in the house, fly. So I held him on my hand and sort of poofed him up, and he just flap, 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 smack onto the floor. So I was like, oh no, what are we going to do? So I thought, oh, well, while I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, I'll pop him in with the finches and Ray, because really, you know, it can't do him any harm. He's a goldfinch, they're finches, they're all birds, you know, they all get on pretty well with one another, so I popped him in. And I thought, I went onto the internet and found out what kind of food I needed to mix up, so I mixed up some food to feed him, and he would take water off me, but he wouldn't take any food. So this was the Saturday. The Sunday, still he wasn't taking any food. And I was like, oh no, he's gonna die. But he was cheeping and he seemed happy. He still wasn't flying much around the cage because obviously he couldn't fly. So Saturday night I cleaned out the birds and I was hoovering down on the floor, and suddenly I heard a really high-pitched noise, the same kind of noise that the baby finches made when they were asking to be fed by mum and dad. And I heard it over the hoover, so it was that loud. So I looked up, and to my amazement, Ray, my male canary, was feeding the little baby. So Ray, this guy here is a bit wet because I've just put clean water in there. I always have a bath when I put clean water in. Down here, where are you, Ray? You're a bit soggy, looking a bit not at your best at the moment. Yeah, adopted him as his very own. And he's still feeding him, so he's been with us a week. Tom, what are you doing? What are you doing, crazy cat? He's been with us for a week. So probably this weekend. It's supposed to be really nice weather, Thursday, Friday, so I'm going to look at releasing him this weekend. I just want him to, because he's still, you can see that, look, he's asking for Ray to feed him. I don't think Ray will feed him at the moment because it's just so bad. He's still asking for Ray to feed him, and I've not seen him make any attempt to feed himself, so... And there's somebody else chewing its feet, which isn't very polite. Yeah, I just want to see him feeding for himself, give him another few days just to feed for himself, or at least attempt to. It's Tom knocking things over. And then he'll get released this weekend, because otherwise the finches are just going to bully him to death because they're mean. Hey, baby finch, pack it in. That was one of my kids. So rude. So rude. I'll show you the other guys. They're all pretty mature now. This little fella, you can't really see with the backlight, really sorry. Where are you? This one, that's the little baby boy. And next to him is his sister. He was the one that used to make the most cutest noises ever. And there's the little Greenfinch. Again, I'm really sorry about the backlight. You can't really see him, he's very pretty. And then mum and dad are up on their shelf doing that thing. So yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cute story. I don't think, look, he's saying, feed me, feed me. If only you could see it rather than in silhouette. But hey ho, I still think it's a dead cute story. I was moved to tears. Baby Finch adopted by Canary. How beautiful. I'll video when we release him as well and post that too so you can see him fly to freedom. Thank you, bye.